Get you out here well before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. That's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's our live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners are professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. All right, with us David Racey with us. Vacationing is Brian Bitler. James Clark will sign a little bit later here. Jay Briggs here with us as well. And here's how they will line up for this evening. We got Bitler, Racy, Briggs, Clark, and then I will close this one out. All right, it's all baseball here, right? And then there's some college World Series up there as well. We'll have baseball covered for you from Major League Baseball today here on this six-game card from the majors, and we got a five-show panel. So I think we're in good shape. So let's get this one underway here. Good to welcome in Brian Bitler. We'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring in Brian right now, showing positive results this year in Major League Baseball. We'll bring him in. Ready to roll with Brian. Brian, what's happening?
I'd love to start the drive-through off on Monday. One of my favorite things to do. Saturday was a 3-0 day. Sunday 1-2. I got to say though, today's card I believe maybe one of the worst baseball cards of the year. But you know that doesn't mean there's not some good free picks out there. And I think I have one to give everybody tonight.
All right, let's get to the diamond here tonight. The White Sox on the road to face these Angels here. The Angels going to be favored home at -128. Total sits 8.5.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to roll with the LA Angels for my drive-through play for Monday. This is a very limited card here, but this Angels team, if I was to add a second premium, it would be this one. Reed Detmers goes for the Angels, and he has been off to his maybe not his best start of the season, but his last start that he went out there, he threw 7 innings, only allowed 2 hits. Reed Detmers has been solid in 3 starts in a row. I think he's starting to turn it on. This White Sox team has underperformed all season, and they're notoriously not the best road team this year. 14-25 straight up on the road. Angels are perfect 5-0 last 5 Monday games. They're also 10-3 last 13 games versus a righty. Angels usually start a series off right. 12-4 last game 1 of a series, and they're also good against the bad teams. 20-7 versus teams with a losing record. I'm gonna take the LA Angels here on the money line tonight.
All right, Brian says go Angels here, -124 here against the White Sox. Yeah, hard to argue that one. My issue with the White Sox, a very inconsistent offense. Yeah, you may see that game where they put up over 5 runs a game, but there's plenty of games out there, Brian, where they're putting up 1, 2, maybe even 3 runs a game, and the offense is just not consistent enough. And C's also concerning is that ERA on the road.
I thought Dylan Cease would be one of the top pitchers in baseball this year in the American League, and he hasn't lived up to that just yet. And the White Sox, although they have some offensive breakouts, they're still 22nd in the league, I believe, in batting average. Their offensive categories are pretty low. And then you look at their pitching and defense, and they're near the bottom of baseball. So those two things mixed together with their road performance over the last couple of years, I don't think this price is too bad for the LA Angels tonight.
I know. Also, too, over the past 10, White Sox struggling here against left-handed pitching. Angels -124 here against the White Sox. This one will have a start time here of 9:30 Eastern Time. Right, Brian, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. As we said, Brian showing great positive results here in Major League Baseball for the year. Well, 6 games on the card, no afternoon action, everything in the prime time tonight. What do you have going on over at the site?
Tell you what, just one premium play today. It is my titanium play. I'm 181, 134-1. That's over the last 316 titanium plays. So you can get my Major League Baseball titanium play for just $15 at pickdogs.com. Make sure you head on over there and pick it up. I'm going to keep on trudging ahead, getting a profit in baseball. And this is the best play on the board, I believe, tonight.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with Brian Bitler over at Pick Dogs. Great results in Major League Baseball. Get on board with this titanium wager play. $19 premium play. Credit guarantee must turn a profit. Or the amount you purchase is credit back to your account for site credits. That is credit guarantee. Also, you may consider the long-term passes. Here we are on a Monday. That 7-day pass. Get you all of Brian's premium plays for the week. And, of course, pick promo code. Save that 15% off. Right, Brian, as always, great having you on your show. Continue that success. Continue that great summer tan out there. I think just up there in Delaware. And we'll catch up with you later in the week.
Yep, I'm going to keep on relaxing on the beach, and I'll catch you on Friday with I love closing out the drive-thru. I got my square dancing shoes on. We're going to have fun, and I'll see you at the end of the week, Tony.
How's the square dancing in Delaware?
I tell you what, it's a little bit better than Pennsylvania because you got the beach babes out there in the bikinis.
There you go.
You got the cowboy boots on, the bikinis. I can dig that for sure.
I would think Delaware would be a little bit more of a remote beach, nice, quiet, peaceful, not a lot of crowds, big crowds out there.
Well, when you have former world champion handicapper coming to town, sometimes that gets the girls all riled up. They can't help themselves. But definitely a good place to be. Love the beach, love the ocean, and I'll catch you on Friday. Hopefully, get some more free winners out there.
Exactly. Brian Bitler here on the drive-through. Let's continue on our show here. Next up, we're going to bring in David Racey. Catch him over at Pick Dog Swim. Does great work in Major League Baseball. We'll bring him in right now. Of course, David also a written contributor over at this site. So as I said, it's always great to have the writers on the show because they put the work in. And it is hard work to get these articles up there. We'll bring him in right now. David, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. How are you doing?
Doing awesome. All right, here we go tonight. Major League Baseball with the Brewers and the Mets. So we see a big number on this Mets team, minus 165, total 8.5.
Yeah, this Mets team has not given too many positive vibes recently, and they've really struggled this season as a whole. But I'm going to take the Mets tonight. I like them minus the 1.5 in this one. New York has lost 6 of their last 8 games, but they have played all right at home this year, where they're 17-15. New York starting Justin Verlander, who has been very up and down this year. In his last 8 starts, he's allowed 4-1, 4-1, 6-1, 6 and 1 earned run over his last 8 starts. So, very inconsistent. You don't know what you're going to get, but it does seem like every other start he has a solid start. So he is due, according to the past 8 starts, for another 1 earned run quality start. We'll see if that holds true. But he has been really good at home. He's allowed 3 earned runs over his last 3 home starts, which has been 20 innings. When you look at Milwaukee, they've alternated wins and losses over their last 7 games, and they've struggled offensively. They've been able to they're leading, or not leading, they're a half game back in the NL Central, but they're right there in the Central, but that offense has just not been very good. And I think they're going to struggle with Verlander here. The Brewers are starting Colin Rea. He's allowed 9 earned runs over his last 2 starts, which is just over 10 innings pitched, which doesn't bode much confidence for me against this Mets offense. So I'm going to take the Mets minus the 1.5 here.
All right, we got David here on the Mets, minus 1.5 here, plus 110 against the Brewers. Yeah, this is the issue here with the Brewers, right? We know they have struggled against lefties, but then you look at the right side, it hasn't been that good. Then you look at all together here over the past 7 games, they're under 200 in the baseball.
Yeah, it's brutal. It really is. And they have decent pitching. The pitching's not great, but it's decent. And if you just get a little bit of offense, they'd be right there. And now, obviously, Cincinnati's passing them in the Central. But yeah, overall for this season, they're at a 226 batting average, very low. And then you look at some trends. Milwaukee's only 1-4 in their last 5 road games, and they're 0-4 in their last 4 Monday games. So I just think they're going to struggle today against Verlander, who, according to his last 8 starts, is due for an absolute quality start tonight.
Yeah, and of course his whip is under 1 at home, which you like that against this light hitting team. Mets run line, they run and have get the plus 110 in return against the Brewers. This one to have a start time here of 7 Eastern time. All right, David, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Swim for tonight's action. We know 6 on the board for Major League Baseball. A great year in Major League Baseball for David, just under 1,400 units of profit in Major League Baseball for the year. We also know that you can verify these numbers by going over to David's handicapper page under Pick History. All the plays documented. You can check them out there. So what do you have going on over at the site?
Today I have I'm sorry about that. Today I have my MLB best bet for $19, and I also have a MLB premium play that starts later in the night for $25. Like you said, I'm 56% in baseball this year, almost 1,400 units. It's been a very solid season for me. I went 4-1 yesterday. The Dodgers tripped me up going for the perfect day. They tried their hardest. They fought back, but they fell in extra innings. But it's been a great season in baseball, so come join me for the night or check out one of my long-term packages because that's where the value's at, and that's where you're going to get the most bang for your buck.
That's right, guys. Got to board with David Racey over at Pick Dodge Premium. You see the results here, nearly 1,400 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dodge Premium. Of course, get on board with one of David's long-term passes. You see that 30-day all sports pass, all of David's premium plays for 30 days. All his baseball here. Of course, that promo code PICK at checkout will save you $45 on that package. All right, David, as always, great having you show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again next week. Let everybody know the content that you deliver over on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat.
I'm a free pick article writer over at pickdogs.com. So me and all the other writers, we have a free pick on just about every single game for every single sport. So you go over to pickdogs.com or Sports Chat Place, and you go to the free pick tab. You pick what sports you're looking for, and you'll see all the articles there. So it's a great place to find information, some trends, and then a free pick.
There you go. Check him out. David Racey over on one of the writers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. All right, David, have yourself a great week. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right, I appreciate it, Tony. Thank you.
You got it. David Racey here on The Drive-Thru. Guys, if you missed any picks, we'll recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on The Drive-Thru. Up next, Jay Briggs. Catch him over at Pick Dog Stream. We'll bring Jay in right now. Also a contributor now on the weekend show, one of the co-hosts, if you would, with Chris. Sometimes they rotate. They'll be rotating in and out on the weekends chair as we're going to get closer and closer to baseball. And we'll go ahead and bring in Jay right now. Jay, what's happening?
Tony T, what's happening?
It's going great. All right, here we go tonight. West Coast baseball tonight. Nationals on the road here facing the Mariners. We have the Mariners, big favorites here, minus 245 with a total of 8.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It should be a really good game tonight. Mariners are huge favorites, and I think for good reason, with my guy Luis Castillo on the mound. So I wanted to find the best way to attack this game. I didn't want to pay the huge price with the Mariners. I do think they win the game behind a solid start. My bad, I'm on the wrong day. But yes, I think we see a solid start behind Castillo. And so I was trying to find the best way to attack that. And I thought maybe let's go to Nationals team total under. It was a little too low at 2.5. I do kind of like that there. But for the full game, I think the under was the best at 8. I could see the Mariners getting a few runs, the Nationals maybe 1-2 runs, and hopefully my guy Trevor Williams on the other side has one of his better outings. And as a whole, I think this game falls underneath the 8. So that's the best way I think to attack it with Castillo on the mound for the Mariners. So give me under 8 between Mariners Nationals. I think we probably get somewhere 6-7 runs or so in this game.
All right, we got Jay here going Mariners and the Nationals here. Looking this one to go under a total here of 8 runs with that Castillo there. And, of course, Trevor Williams. No, Castillo has been really good against the East, NL East, 8-0 to the under there. And of course, we know the Mariners' bats, one of the reasons why they have had some issues this year, just 221 against right-handers. But the Mariners are getting a good bullpen out from them at home.
Yeah, I'm expecting Castillo to go about 7-8, and then the bullpen should do enough on its side. And then, like you said, the thing that's really held the Mariners back is their hitting this season. Trevor Williams is not my favorite, but hopefully he has a solid outing today. He gave up no runs in his last outing against St. Louis. So if he has a decent outing, I think as a whole this game should be fairly low scoring. We should come underneath the total.
Yeah, Nationals have gone under a lot when they face good strikeout pitchers. 29-14 to the under. Facing a starter who averages 5 or greater strikeouts a game. Under 8 here, Mariners Nationals. This one will have a start time here of 9:40 Eastern time. All right, Jay, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, it is 6-game card here from Major League Baseball here on the board. Putting up Jay's numbers, fantastic results here in Major League Baseball for the year. As we have tonight, the 1335 here on the updated leaderboards. 6 on the board for Major League Baseball, as well as, what's it? Major League Baseball today, 6 on the board. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Smaller card, 6 games. I gave y'all my favorite play with my $19 MLB play of the day. It's up there on the site, man. $19 gets you my favorite play today. I absolutely love that play. And then we got a huge card tomorrow, so definitely back in action tomorrow. But just the one play today, $19, man. As coming off a fairly rough weekend, Saturday was not my best, and then we split even Friday and Sunday, 2 and 2 days. So we're going to get back on track. You see the units we've had thus far this season. I'm confident about that. And hop on, man, and let's continue smashing the Major League Baseball this year.
That's right, guys. Continue to smash Major League Baseball. Get on board here with Jay Briggs over at Pick Dog Stream. Good results here over you see there. The results from Jay has been fantastic, so a good time to get on board with Jay over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, he's got his plays up there for you at $19 premium play of the day up there. Or the long-term pass will serve you well. You get that 30-day pass. You get all of Jay's premium plays up for 30 days, all his baseball. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll be able to save in that one 15% off. Use that promo code and add a second capper if you would with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. Even greater value there. All right, Jay, as always, great having you show. Need that success. And of course, now we see you now on the weekend shows helping host up those weekend shows.
Yes, sir. I hosted Saturday and Sunday this past weekend. Had a lot of fun talking baseball with all the guys. So y'all see a lot more of me hosting on the weekend. So I really love that, and football on the horizon. So be on the lookout for that. And as we continue through the summer betting baseball.
That's right. And let's. I know, of course, you cover NBA in depth here for Pick Dogs with your live shows. What's your thoughts here? Closing thoughts here on this NBA draft?
NBA draft, Tony T. It was interesting. I think this year, of course, you had your star power at the top with Wemby, and then Brandon Miller, Scoop. But other than those guys, I think there was going to be a lot of rotational players that went in this draft. That over the next few seasons, we're going to be like, man, I'm surprised he went there, and that was a pretty solid pick. And then I just thought overall about this. This was a different draft than years past. You had guys who didn't play college. They played in an overtime elite type league who went 4-5. The brothers thought that was very interesting. I'm ready to see if that translates. You got a generational talent in Wemby. It was a lot, man, and I think a lot of teams got what they needed. More so than in past years drafting best player available. A lot of teams drafted what they needed. And I think there's still a lot of shakeup to come in the NBA with free agency. And we got to see how all the pieces come together for next season and who got better and who didn't.
Yep. Definitely have to do that to see how things work out here in the draft. And any thoughts here with the free agency? Of course, a lot of your guy in Dallas getting a lot of news here. It wouldn't be surprising to see him go to the Lakers. The Lakers just seem to be where all the veterans seem to go, where they land, right? Because you see the age there for the Lakers, star players, the over 30 crowd, the AARP of the NBA.
So I'm going to say the same thing I said from the start of the end of the season. Kyrie Irving is not going to the Lakers. It's not happening. The Mavs are not letting him out of the building. Little nugget today coming out of Dallas, our rookie that we drafted at 12, his number, we had the press conference today, on his jersey he had the number 2, which if you knew was Kyrie Irving's jersey number from this season. Kyrie Irving, it came out today, is switching his number with Dallas to number 11. He's a free agent. I don't think they released that without, significant. He's switching his jersey number to 11. The reason that's significant is because Tim Hardaway Jr. wore 11. That's why Kyrie Irving couldn't have it this year. And Tim Hardaway Jr. switching to 10. But it's interesting. He's a free agent as well. So a lot of shakeup going on in Dallas right now. Just a lot of little nuggets like that. But I'm 95% sure Kyrie Irving will be in a Mavs jersey next year, wearing 11 alongside number 77 for Dallas, Luka Doncic.
What do you make out of Chris Paul moving to Golden State?
I think that move is going to be very underrated. I think if Chris Paul was ever going to get a ring in his career, it would be in Golden State. I think we cannot count this team out. This has been the dynasty of this generation. And any given year, we know basketball is a make or miss league. And if you're going to give me the 2 greatest shooters of this generation, hey, it's not a bad bet, especially now with a point guard like Chris Paul himself.
And what happens to Phoenix here? That's this is the team that they were a really bad team. Paul comes in here, makes them respectable, and as usual, it's not a long stay for Paul, right? It seems that the teams that he goes to, they fall short, and then he's the first one out the door.
Phoenix is going to be very interesting, I think. I still want to see Phoenix get a few more pieces. I do. I want to see them get a steady point guard, and I want to see that bench improve. But I am on the notion that star power was not the problem with Phoenix. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker played just about as good as you can play in that 2-game stretch in Phoenix. So I have to see it play out. I think this was my thing. If we got Phoenix, Denver again right now today with Bradley Beal on the Suns, still taking the Nuggets in 6. So I want to see Phoenix probably get some more depth, maybe trade Aiden for that, get that out of the building, and then we'll reassess. But as of right now, I would still think the West is going to run through the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, looks like the Denver Nuggets, they're really loaded there with depth, the draft picks as well. We'll see how that rolls out with this Denver Nugget team. Any team here, a team that missed the playoffs, do you think a surprise for next season early on, just looking at some rosters?
So, before the draft, I had two teams I was really looking at. One was the Orlando Magic, but I did not love their draft very much. I think they could have did a lot better. I think they could have got some more win now pieces. I think they kind of got some more developed type guys. So I still think they're going to be a good team to bet on again next year. I still think they're going to have the hustle and stuff like that. But a team that I think is going to be very surprising to watch, team to keep your eye on, kind of like Sacramento was this year, I think is going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think we saw them push and make the play-in tournament this year. We made a lot of money if you watch the jam session this year, betting the Thunder Buddies, as I call them. And I think with Chet Holmgren coming back, who was their high overall pick last season, who got hurt, I think he'd be nice. And then I kind of like some of the pieces they got in the draft as well. So that would probably be one of my sleepers for next season. And then Detroit and Houston maybe should be better. And then San Antonio, I think all the bad teams might be slightly better next year. And we're going to see if they can put the pieces together.
Yeah, a team that kind of the team that was disappointed because there was a lot of hope for Atlanta with Trae Young. Where do you see Atlanta going?
Atlanta's very interesting. We saw them trade John Collins today to Utah, who's another interesting young team. These young teams are stockpiling some talent. And pretty soon we're going to see the NBA maybe flip over like we haven't quite seen, as some of the older guys are on their way out. It's going to be very interesting, man. What did you ask me one more time? I forgot. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was asking here about that. We're pretty much – I want to ask you this one here. With Boston, that's right. That was a big move, right, with Porzingis. He's been someone that's moved around. Also has had injury issues. I don't know how he'll work out defensively because Marcus Smart was a key there defensively in that team.
I think that is very interesting piece. It just depends on what Porzingis you get, because I'm a Mavericks fan, so I think a lot of people forget that stint he had in Dallas. It wasn't pretty. The Mavs were still looking for a second star. Porzingis was supposed to be that alongside Luka Doncic. It just didn't work for whatever reason. He did go to Washington and look good this year, though. I will not discredit him. He did look good in Washington this year. I'm not in love with the trade to Boston. I still think Boston – I'm not sure what Boston needed. Trading away their quote-unquote leader in Marcus Smart, we got to see how that plays over. If Tatum is ready to grab the reins and be the leader in that locker room. So we'll see. If I had to call it right now, Boston is still my favorite, though, in the East. And we're going to have to see if they can gel together the right way.
Well, we saw them knock out the Warriors. How close is Sacramento getting to the Western Conference Finals? This is a team that's one of those young teams that finally got it together, got Brown in there as a head coach. I still think they had some issues defensively, but so far, the bad defensive teams, as long as you got the offense, right, it didn't seem to hurt them too much, although they did play better here in the postseason, because when you look at the Kings' defensive numbers at home, were terrible last year, but the postseason, they really came alive. And, of course, they were, I don't have statistics to prove it, but we just know visually following this team, they were about the healthiest team in the NBA last year.
Yes, Sacramento's going to be another interesting team to watch. They pushed the Warriors to the brink this year. And I don't know, man. It's going to be – because the West is going to be tough again next year. I think my Mavs take a step forward. I think the Clippers, if healthy, they're going to be better. The Warriors with the addition of Chris Paul. Maybe the team that steps back is the Lakers, but I'm one that will never count out LeBron James. So it's going to be a very interesting year next year. I think this year in the NBA we said this was one of the more wide-open NBA seasons. So definitely Sacramento has a legitimate shot, especially if Sabonis continues to play at the level he played this season. And I think De'Aaron Fox has solidified himself as a legit top 10 NBA guard.
There we go. We put a close to the book of the 2022-23 season in the NBA with Jay as we got through the draft, and now we wait for the Summer League, and that rolls into the summer here.
I can't wait for that. That should be a lot of fun this year.
The Summer League just a few weeks away. I know they do it in Vegas, so if you plan your Vegas vacations, I would suggest maybe stopping into the I think it's Thomas and Mack, where they play the ladies' gym and the men's gym. There's usually 2 games going on at the same time, so really good experience there. Also, you'll see a lot of general managers, a lot of players there in the stands, and they're very accessible. And if you've ever been to this, if you go to the summer NBA Summer League,
Might got to pop out there this year.
yeah, I got to Vegas. Check it out; it's a lot of fun. All right, Jay, as always, great having you show. To that success, we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, Tony T.
Yeah, Jay Briggs here on the drive through. Let's continue on. Guys, if you miss a pick, we're going to recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's welcome in James Clark. You'll catch him over at Pick Dog Spin. We'll bring James in right now. We go ready to roll here with more baseball coverage. We're going to get you pretty much all the games on the card today. The only game we didn't catch, I don't think, is Detroit Texas, but you guys know what to do with that game already. I'm pretty sure. Bring in James right now. James, what's happening?
I'm not much, Tony. How you not, buddy?
Everything's going great here on a Monday here. We're counting down the days of July, and you know what July means. We're 1 month closer to football. So it's getting close. It's getting close. And before we get to the game, any thoughts on the Mountaineers? Of course, we saw the coaching change in college basketball, right? It's unfortunate.
Yes, it is. No one to talk about it, but Hugs gave his chance there. I mean, he said he'd go through any DUI class. He'd do community service. He would do anything he had to do, to make up to keep the job. But, 2 strikes, this close together. He just lost $1 million on, some of the words that he said, and then get caught DUI. So 2 strikes close together. Really hurt us, man. This WVU team that we got from the portal, man. We're looking pretty good. We look like we're going to be ranked, the top 10 coming out, maybe in top 5. And, they stayed together. I think WVU done the right thing. Instead of going out and getting a coach, I don't know. It's really heartbreaking to be a Mountaineer fan right now because, you love Huck so much and you want him back. But they done the right thing, I think. Instead of going out and getting a coach from another school, just letting somebody that's already familiar with the team. And that's what the team wanted, too. I think if we went out and got another coach from somewhere else, I think we seen all of our players go to the transport portal.
Yeah.
And they stayed so far, so that's a good thing for us.
Yeah, that is a good thing, and most importantly, keep an eye on West Virginia. Maybe a good start to the season that keep them from transferring. That's something to keep an eye on with some of these teams when they have that type of big shock to the system and replacement there. You got to win right away, and then if not, then the players start to get disgruntled. Then you start seeing them hit the portal. And of course, quick before we get to the game, college football here with West Virginia. What are your thoughts? Early thoughts here. Way too early thoughts from James Clark as we're not too far, 2 months away from the start of week 0, I guess is what we call it.
I'm excited to see this new team we got going out put on the field. WVU, we love our football team. West Virginia fans, we're always coming out to support our fans. We always want to have a good football team. But this year, we're putting a lot of new pieces in a quarterback area, defense. Running back, so we're having a lot of new faces and a lot of new places, and I'm excited to see what we can do. And it's going to be a real rebuilding year for us this year in football. But I was excited about basketball. But like I said, you can look around, you can talk to any WVU fan, they're heartbroken over what happened with Hugs. But I'm excited to see football season and basketball season kick off for Mountaineers.
That's right. We're getting close to the summer sessions here. As college football, in the summer doesn't get as much coverage as the NFL training camps, but it's just as important there because you want to make sure you catch up. Who the quarterback going to be, right?
Yeah, we've got 2 or 3 big 4-star athletes to come in on our defense. Our defense has been solid, but you play in the Big 12, usually. Defenses, they're looking for offense. Big 12, up and down the field, a lot of scoring. But we've had a couple good pieces on the defensive side. I'm just really excited to see as Mountaineers to get started. Like I said, it's going to be rebuilding year for us. But I look excited. I think we get out to a hot start and maybe try to do something in the Big 12.
Yeah, that's how it rolls here in the Big 12. A lot of changes going on in these conferences, right? It's going to be interesting to see what this all alignment, no Oklahoma, no Texas, how all this is going to play out here.
Yeah, the next few years could be. I think the Big 12 will stay like it is. Not the teams, but I believe the conference will stay Big 12. We're going to add new pieces here and there. Seems like the ACC is going. ACC is going to bust up a little bit. Maybe we get Duke, North Carolina. Some teams like that in the Big 12 with us. But losing Oklahoma and a couple big teams in the Big 12, does hurt the Big 12. But I think with the teams they add, will help us in the long run.
No doubt about that. All right, we'll go over to our attention now to the game tonight here with the Reds and Orioles at the top of the hour here. This Reds team, as we said a few weeks ago, I saw that in the Dodgers series because that's when they were bringing up their prospects. You saw the culture change with this Reds team, and it's continuing here as they're now a winning team. Who would have thought this over 2 weeks ago when they faced Kershaw and the Dodgers came in and they had a really good series against the Dodgers. When they made some of the moves here, you started to see the belief they had in themselves, and it's been carrying on here. Orioles have been a solid team as well. Pretty good matchup tonight in the Interleague. Orioles favorite here, total 10.
Yeah, I look at this game, guys. The Reds here, as Tony just said, came out red hot. It's the Reds of the new Orioles. The last 2 weeks. Last year everybody rode the Orioles. They played real good, got together. They're Orioles having a fantastic season this year, and I like the Reds on the main line tonight, guys. You're getting plus money with them. Their bats have been real hot. Both of these pitchers for each team, gives up a lot of runs, and I think that goes hand with the Reds here. I think they keep clicking with their bats. All the new prospects they have going up, like Tony said, have been red hot. Come in, like they want to make their major league debut, and they have, and everybody looking good. And I really like the Reds. Really like the Reds tonight on the money line, guys. I would hammer this play because I look for the Reds to come out victorious at the end of this game.
All right, James here on the Reds, plus 114 here in here against this Baltimore Orioles team. Of course, lines you're seeing here is the sharpest book in America. Do your shopping, get the best numbers. Yeah, hard to argue that one. Reds have had success against the American League here, 8-1 against the AL. And against teams hitting 255 or worse this season are the Reds, and that is the kicker there. Also, the Reds have been they've been hitting the left-handers this year. James, 16-10 against the lefties, hitting 285. And one note here about Irvin. Irvin is someone I had circled as a go against because, these pitchers that were struggling go to Oakland or go to these pitchers' parks. They leave the pitchers' parks. Now you're going to see you see the struggle.
Yeah, you do. And like I said, with this hot lineup coming up, you see what the Reds done against the Braves, put up big runs. And you got Irvin here for the Orioles, and I think the Reds keep it going, like I said, and put up big runs and get us this win. The Reds is in an awesome spot here with plus money, and I'm hammering it, guys. I really love this pick, and I think the Reds, like I said, I think the Reds come up victorious at the end of the game.
All right, here we go with James on the Reds, plus 114, plus 112. So you're shopping here against the Orioles. This one to have a start time here of 7 Eastern time, top of the hour. All right, James, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Of course, on the board, we have 6 games on the board for Major League Baseball. James showing good profit over the last 7 days, as well as showing profit over the last 30 days is James Clark over at Pick Dodge Premium. Also, too, if you're looking for an NFL guy, James was the top producer in the NFL, 1,600 units of profit. Just letting you know that because preseason football is not too far away, a little more than a month away from preseason football. So if you're thinking about a guy to tail here for the NFL, you keep James in mind. All right, James, what do you have going over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Guys, I got a 3-pack going on. 3 plays that I really love. Looking to go 3-0 tonight, guys. Been real hot here lately in the MLB, and looking to keep it going today with a 3-0 day. So after we go 3-0, guys, upgrade 3-7 or 30 days. Or guys, like I say every time I'm on the show, we got the best cappers in the world, and we do by far. So team me up with any cappers that's on the show or it's on the site, and we'll put the money in your pockets, guys.
That's right, guys. I got on board here with James Clark over at Pick Dodge Premium. Good results for the last 7 days, showing profit last 30 days as well. He's got that 3-pack of winners from baseball. And, of course, the long-term passes will serve you well. You can get on board here with James Clark. He's got that Major League Baseball season pass. Get all of James' premium plays now until for Major League Baseball now until the final pitch of the World Series. That would be all baseball coverage there. And, of course, we go almost right to the beginning of November. So there's a lot of baseball, still over 4 months of baseball left to roll here, including the postseason. And that's covered here when you get that Major League Baseball season pass here from James. Pickett's a promo code to save that 15% off. That takes $75 off that MLB season pass. All right, James, as always, great having you on the show. Need that success, and we'll catch up with you again next week, right at the end of the week.
All right, Tony. I appreciate you having me on the show, guys. Just cash some tickets tonight, and if I don't see you before Friday, I'll see you Friday.
Absolutely. We'll see you then. James Clark here on the drive-thru. All right, guys, reminder, if you missed a pick, we're going to recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Time for my pick here. Lots of guys on vacation today, so you're going to get that here, right, this time of the year, as everybody here is getting ready here, getting a little breather here before we get to the grind again when football season begins. Kind of a 9 to 10 month grind, as of course it bleeds into college basketball as well, and the NBA and NHL. Don't want to forget the NHL. Let's continue on. Let's see, did I get my game? Well, actually, I'll put my game up, and I can always search it here. We're not going to do Reds Orioles because that's the one James did. And let's see here. We're going to do. Oops, what did I do here? I think I hit the wrong one. There we go. We are going to do Brewers and Mets, I believe. Nope, that's not the one. I'm going to be the Twins game. Here we go. Yep, we're doing the Twins and the Braves going head-to-head tonight in this one. And the game I'll be looking at, I'm going to take the run line here with the Twins. Going to take the run and a half here, a minus 106, minus 101, whatever it is. You guys make sure you guys do your shopping, get the best numbers if you can here in this one. Sonny Gray is the starter, and dominant back Gray here, at least to keep him close, right? 15 starts, good ERA, 2.56, whip of 1.3. The 11-year starter here, K rate 24%, 9% walks, high ground ball rate, I like that, 47%. Doesn't get hurt by the home run ball at all. Not a lot of home run damage this year against Gray. No, Strider's had some issues. His ERA is near 4 now. He's a good strikeout pitcher, but the ground ball sit at 31%, 1.28 home runs per 9 innings. Look over the past 3 games for Strider. He's given up 14 earned runs with 5 homers in 15 innings. Gray has been a pretty solid here starter this season, so we're going to go with the run line with Gray. Take the run and a half here with Gray. And, of course, the return minus 101 here against the Braves. This one to have a start time here of 7:20 p.m. Eastern time. All right, over at Pick Dodge from tonight. 6-game card. I just have a best bet premium up there on the board right now, $19 premium, so get on board with that if you would. Of course, all individual plays are credit guarantee, must earn a profit. The amount you purchase is credit back to your account for side credits. That is credit guarantee. Also, I have the long-term pass, my 3, 7, or 30 all sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period. Just select. When you go over to my handicapper page and you make that purchase, remember the promo code PICK at checkout will save 15% off as well. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. No afternoon action as we're going through this, the score bug here. As you can see, there's no games in action right now. Everything begins here at 7 p.m. Eastern time or later, concluding with that Nationals and Mariners game. Of course, we started off with the Reds Orioles, top of the hour there, as you can see there on the score crawl at the bottom. All right, let's get to the recap, and let's recap the games from today's show. All right, we got to start here with Brian. Brian liked the Angels here, minus 124 against the White Sox. David Racey, he was on the Mets run line, laid the run and a half, plus 110 against the Brewers. Jay's pick, Mariners Nationals under 8. James was on the Reds, plus 114 against the O's. My pick will be Twins run line. Take the run and a half, minus 106 against the Braves. The one I like the most, I like that Reds pick here from James. That's the plus money there, plus 114 here against the Orioles. All right, that's going to do it here. This edition. Or some of the guys out there too. Dion likes Washington and Detroit money line. So some big dogs there from our man Dion there in the chat as well. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. We've got Blake in there as well, JD as well. We've got Ramon in there as well in the chat room. Andy as well. Nick Beats Vegas. Rocco Rogers out there as well. Bless is in there. We've got Daniel Berry Sports. Of course, there's always going to be somebody in there just bad-mouthing everybody because that's the mood they're in. Then we have James Cantwell in there as well. So great views there from everyone. Alicio Abreu, shout out to you as well. Andrew Colts in there as well. Feels that Marcus Smart bleeds green. He does. That's going to be a big miss. We'll see how they respond without him in the lineup. And we see some of the folks liking that under Seattle, Washington with Jay there. It was Ramon, the ones he likes that one. And Dion likes that Washington, Detroit money line there from you guys. All right, guys. I thank everybody in the chat room for joining us. That's going to do it for this edition here of the Drive-Thru. Make sure you guys tune in again tomorrow live here at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our cappers here from Big Dogs and Sports Chat Play. So they'll have their plays for you here live on the show. Don't forget, tomorrow we'll have a bigger card. We'll have a 15-game card to choose from, so we'll have a lot more games on the menu here. Don't forget, it always gets started every single day here, live here at 10:30 a.m. each time with the morning show. You got Mitch, you got Rod, you got Chris, and of course lots of video series here on the channel. Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes, Bane Tool shows, Nick Mickens, Nerfies, Yerfies, Mike Davis's live show Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Also has his first 5 innings pick, and of course his prize picks as well here, parlay videos as well. We're seeing a parlay now from Brad up on the channel as well. So lots of content coming here. Ron Romanelli with a rundown from Major League Baseball here every single day. A pick from there from him. And of course, the weekend lineup now is rotating between Chris and Jay on the weekends. So you guys make sure you tune in and make sure you like, subscribe, and set those notifications. Be live with us. Get the plays in real time to get the best numbers. All right, that's going to do it here for our show today. Going to bring in our crew from tonight. Anyway, goodbye to guys. You guys have a great evening, afternoon.